Are you guys suffering from back pain? Do you want to know the secret to getting rid of back pain? Well, I've got the secret, and it's called muscle activation with yoga. So we're going to do a little practice with yoga combined with muscle activation, and I'm going to give you five practices or five postures that's going to not only get rid of your back pain, but also improve your muscles' ability to contract and contract on demand so that they can support the joints of your lower back, thus getting rid of your back pain. All right, friends, so please come on to all fours and then come on to your elbows here and walk your knees back a bit. We're gonna do plank pose, but to set up for plank, what I'd like you to do is lift the chest and heart forwards and kind of feel like you're extending through your spine. Now, squeeze the navel towards the spine and then lift the knees off the ground. Now, if you look at me, my butt is a little bit up. So let's lower the butt down a bit and press back through the heels, pull the navel in, and then bring the knees down. Every time we do a muscle activation, we just do it for 6 seconds and repeat it 6 times. So extend through the spine, push up a little bit between the shoulder blades, bring the navel into the spine, the pubic bone forward, lift the knees off the ground. And again, we're gonna hold here for about 6 seconds. Now you can see my butt wants to get up every time, so I have to remind myself, lower the hips a bit. Lift the inner thighs, navel to spine, and then bring the knees down. Take a breath in, and do it again. This is one of my favorite poses because it truly activates the transverse abdominis. And then lower the knees down and extend through the spine, push up a little between the shoulder blades and lift the knees off the ground, lower the hips a bit, press back through the heels and then lower the knees down and take a breath. Do it again, knees off the ground. I just love this pose. Oh my gosh, I can really feel my core turning on and activating, and bring the knees down. Now I'm going to throw you a little curveball on this last one. You don't have to do it. So lift the knees off the ground, pull the belly in. If you want to, come onto one hand, come onto the other hand, and come up into full plank. Then come on down, and come on down, and lower the knees. Really nice. Please don't take child's pose. That's the worst thing that you can do because it will undo all of the wonderful work that we just did. Now come on to your back and lie down. And next muscle that we're going to activate is called the iliacus and a little bit of psoas major. Now they're important muscles that stabilize your back, and sometimes we can refer to them as core muscles. Now you have a couple of options here. The one that I'm going to teach you is to do both legs lifting up, all right? But if that's too much for you, just do one leg at a time. If you're doing one leg at a time, pause the video and join me after you finish the other leg. But if you're going to do both legs, bring both legs together. Now, externally rotate the feet as much as you can. Externally rotate the femur bone as much as you can and squeeze the legs together. And then lift up and lift up to about 30 degrees. And just hold it there. And again, squeeze the legs, externally rotate the feet, and then I want you to slowly lower back down. Now, one of the things that a lot of people say, and it's kind of stupid, really, I don't understand why they say it, is that you should push the lower back into the floor. I don't want you to do that. I also don't want you to try and lift the lower back away from the floor. Don't even worry about it. Now, if you've got pain in your lower back when you're doing this, again, just go to one leg at a time, all right? So, squeeze the legs together, externally rotate, turn the toes out, and then slowly lift up to about 30 degrees. And just hold it there, breathing in and out, and then very slowly start to lower back down. Okay? And relax. Just bend the knees. Sometimes I like to come to spine neutral and bring the legs together. Turn the toes out. Squeeze right in the inner thigh as much as you can. Like right here. Squeeze those 2 points together and then slowly lift up. About 30 degrees. And you're probably going to feel this a lot in your core muscles. Like all your core muscles are getting activated. That's a really positive thing. And then slowly lower down. Good. Bend the knees. Just come to spine neutral. And then bring the legs together. Turn the toes out. Externally rotate the femur bones. Lift up to about 30 degrees. And squeeze together and then come on back down. A group of muscles that's really important to activate are called the adductors. Those are the muscles in the inner leg. So when you're squeezing the legs together, you're getting a little bit of adduction in there, and that's a net positive. And turn the legs out, slowly rotate the femur bones, and squeeze the legs together and then slowly lift up to about 30. And then slowly back down. Now you're probably thinking, what has this got to do with my lower back? Well, all of these muscles, the iliacus, the psoas major, and then of course your TVA, your core muscles, really important when it comes to mobility. Every time you're moving, if these muscles are not contracting properly, guess what? Your joints are not being supported. When they're not being supported, there's a stress cycle that starts to initiate inflammation. And it's the inflammation that's causing you pain and also degenerating nerve and tissue in that area. It's not a good thing. So when the joints are stable, there's no stress, no inflammation, no pain. Okay, bring the legs together, externally rotate, and lift up. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and slowly back down. I don't know about you guys, but it just got a little easier for me. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is called leg lifts. And we'll do this one at a time each side. Just gonna bring one leg up as much as you can. Keep this knee straight as possible. So the knee is extended, the leg is straight. Right now, I can only get to about, I think that's about 80 degrees, maybe 85. That would be 90, but that's right about where I'm at right at this moment. You're gonna lift up the chest. Now I don't want you to lift up as much as you can, but lift up a little bit. Kind of crunch the upper part of your chest. Don't worry about crunching your abs. Bring your arms out, reach for the end of your mat, and feel like you're pulling the leg this direction, and then slowly back down everything. Okay, let's do that a few more times. Slowly lift this leg up. This is a great way to activate all of the hip flexors. Now, don't focus so much on the upper part of your chest. Focus more on the leg and feel like you're pressing through the ankle here and it's coming that direction. So the front of the ankle and then slowly back down. And this is such a great way to get all of the hip flexors working. Let's do it again. Bring that leg up. And guess what? I'm actually starting to get more range of motion as these muscles start activating, which is a really great thing. And then slowly back down. And then slowly back up. Lift the chest up a bit. Reach for the end of your mat. Again, just crunching a little bit in the upper part of your chest. You can probably feel some of your neck muscles working as well. And then slowly back down. You notice that I'm moving slowly. This is a really important part of the practice, as opposed to just dropping the leg down. As you move slowly, you're actually strengthening all of these slow twitch muscle fibers. Slowly lift up. And then lift up the chest. Beautiful. And then slowly down. And then slowly up. First the leg, then the chest. And then again, you're pushing through the front of your ankle that direction. All right? Also remember to turn the corners of your mouth upwards and then back down. Nice. And then back up one more time. Come on up with the leg and then lift up. Now, if you're feeling this a lot in your thigh or right in the hip area, lower the leg. You don't have to bring the leg up. That's probably, for most of you, this is probably your normal range of motion anyways. So, you know, build up. You don't have to come all the way up. Go as far as it's comfortable for you. Honor your body. One of the worst things that we don't want to do is create more stress and slowly come back down. Because again, stress creates inflammation, and inflammation is what sets off that pain cycle. Let's do the other leg. Okay, so again, I'm probably about 80, 85 degrees. Lift up a little bit. And again, you're pressing through that front part of the ankle. Okay? And then slowly come on down. And then slowly up. Reaching up. Kind of keep pressing through the front part of the ankle. This is going to activate all of these hip flexor muscles. And then slowly down. And let's do this again. Come on up. Lift up the chest. Push through the leg. Beautiful. And then come on down. You might notice that your range of motion improves, and sometimes it just gets a little easier each time. Come on up. Nice. Reach for the end of your mat, just crunching sort of that upper part of your chest. And then come on down. And do it again. Come on up. Again, feel like you're pressing from that front part of your ankle bone that direction. Okay, not to the point over your head, but sort of like to maybe the wall behind you. And then come on down. Very nice. We'll do it one more time. And then come on up. And then come on down. Wonderful. Okay, friends, so let's bend the knees. Bring the arms out to the sides. One of the most important muscles in relationship to back pain is your glutes. You gotta get those glutes working. So bring the arms out to the sides here. Squeeze the glutes. And just lift up a little bit here. You don't have to lift up too much, but I just want you to really focus on squeezing the glutes. Press down into the heels of the feet. As you do that, you'll notice that you can access your glutes a little bit more. And then come on down. And then come on up. And maybe up a little bit higher this time. Press down through the heels of the feet. Squeeze the glutes. And then come on down. Very nice. Let's do it again. Squeeze the glutes, lift up. And then come on down. And then squeeze the glutes and come on up. Maybe up a little bit higher or as high as you can now. Really press down. Really want you to feel those glutes working, squeezing, all of those muscle fibers contracting like a coiled snake, and then slowly down. And then come on up again. And this time come on up as high as you can. Arms out to the sides. Do not use your hands to lift you up. I want your muscles to do the work for you. So lift up as much as you can. Squeeze the glutes. Lift, lift, lift. And then slowly down. Really nice. Let's do it one more time. Lift up as much as you can. And squeeze the glutes. And then slowly down. All right, friends, we're gonna do one more practice here. So what I would like you to do is to turn around and come onto your stomach. Right, so this is one of my favorite practices called Shalabhasana, Superman. In fact, in the words of Yogi Aaron, yoga practice is not a yoga practice without Shalabhasana, or Superman, or Superwoman, whatever you feel like today. So let's come on down, bring the forehead down, and then lift the legs and lift your chest. Now don't worry about lifting the chest so much. What I want you to focus on more is lifting the legs. And I've got my hands on my lower back right now just to feel the back muscles contracting, and slowly come on down. And then come on up. And work on lifting from the inner thighs. Okay? Give me a thumbs up if you feel your back muscles working right now. And then come on down. And then come on up. Really nice. Remember to turn the corners of your mouth upwards. And then come on down. And then come on up. Now a lot of people, when they're new to this, can sometimes barely lift off the ground. That's a sign that you've got really weak back muscles. And then come on down. When I first started doing this, I could barely do this. So it took me time to get stronger. And come on up. But also to build up that neuromuscular connectivity. So doing this every day is going to be such a great boon to your lower back. And then come on down. And then come on up. Beautiful. And then come on down. And we'll do it one more time. Come on up. You really feel all your lower back muscles really engaging right now. And then come on down. And that's it, friends. Those are my 5 secret muscle activation poses to get your back strong and stable, and therefore you can have a stable life. I think so many of you who have had back problems can relate to this idea that, weak back is a weak life. A strong back is not only a strong life, but a healthy and vital life. So, happy practicing. Do these postures daily. You're gonna feel a lot stronger. You're gonna feel pain-free, and a pain-free body is a happy life.